Hello again and thanks for joining. So today I've got this model. I don't have a box for it, but I do know it is an Electrotren model. It's made in Spain and it's advertising Voll-Damm beer. There's a bit of a story behind this one. I did actually get this in Barcelona, one of the few model shops in the city. I can't even remember what the name of the model shop was, but it was secondhand there. And I thought, this is great, I'll buy this because I've been drinking Voll-Damm when I was on holiday. So this makes for a much better souvenir than something like a fridge magnet or a Sombrero from Spain anyway. And we're going to have a look at this model today. So I don't have much Electrotren stuff in my collection, but what I do have always seems to be extremely well detailed, and this model is no exception. So if you start here on the actual tarpaulin part of this wagon, you can see that this is really well molded. It's got so much detail, it looks so realistic that you could almost imagine this is made of fabric, but it is actually made of plastic. The printing on it is absolutely top notch. You can see the Damm logo there. It does have a little bit of fuzziness on it. This is quite a textured surface, so it has suffered a little bit, but it's not too bad at all, and there's certainly a lot of detail even up here on this detailed part at the top of the logo. And as we move down the side of the wagon, you can see the Voll-Damm logo there, very nice and bright. It's also very clear, and you have the Damm logo again at this end of the wagon. And you can also see down here in the chassis there's some additional printing of various numbers, and you can see the word Renfe there, so that makes this a Spanish wagon, unsurprisingly, because it's Electrotren. Looking at the ends of the wagon, it's just a one-piece moulding here. This one does have a bit of dust in it. I probably should keep my models in a bit better condition. And you can see that the buffers are moulded as a one piece. But one concession we have to the model here is this bit here where you have a little tab. That isn't there in real life, obviously. You can see that it has this step here. It's very delicate, and it also has this handrail and these little lamp brackets on the side. And this is very brittle plastic, so these can easily break off, and that's been a problem with some other Electrotren items that I've had. This one is looking okay though, so that's quite good. Up on the roof, you can see a nice ridge effect here. There is the slightest of indication of a moulding mark on the roof here, but it's really not that pronounced at all, so they've done really well in that respect. And looking down below, you can see the wheels here are dulled, maybe a little bit too much, but that could just be tarnished with age on this model. But there is a lot of deep relief here with the spring and the axle box, and also the brakes, which you can see are in line with the wheel as well. And there's some nice detail moulded here in deep relief on this panel in the middle. And then underneath, there's an indication of brake gear here in the middle, but it's got some strange blank parts here on each side. These wheels don't articulate it or anything like that. It's a fixed chassis, so I don't know why there's this blank part here. And I also like the fact that you can see the wooden floorboards of the bottom of the wagon there moulded in. The couplings are on this quite simple cantilever mechanism, and it works quite well. It'll obviously keep this wagon coupled up. You can see that it moves quite a lot, and it probably will need that because this is, like I said, a fixed wagon. And these couplings are in NEM pockets as well if you want to change them. One of the things you've surely noticed here is this bright yellow brake wheel. This is a separate part that's been added in. You can see that it's being pushed through the main bit of plastic. So you do see a little bit of yellow poking through on the inside. And you also see these little tie-down hooks as well. They're extra parts moulded in yellow which have been added in. So let's see how much this wagon weighs. So this wagon weighs 65 grams. So you don't see many Electrotren items over here in the UK, and I would suspect they're actually fairly rare also in Spain. One of the good things about Electrotren is that these models are actually quite cheap to pick up, and this one wasn't expensive at all. And yet, in spite of that cheap price, you're getting a very well detailed moulding and some really nice printing on the side of it. And so I think these are actually quite good value for money. So there's many things I like about this wagon. One of the things, obviously, is the printing on the side. It's very bright and colourful, and it really looks quite eye-catching with the green, the red and the white. And yet, even though it's dark green, they managed to print the white onto the side of this wagon very clearly. The straps for the tie down are also very nice. They're all picked out there, and the fabric of the curtain side really looks very convincing. So it really does look like a very nicely detailed model, and that follows through to the underframe, which is also really nice. These additional parts that have been added on for the brake wheel and the tie down in the bright yellow really adds another little extra to this model. There are a few compromises with this. I think the buffer beam is a bit lacking in detail, and the wagon is very light, so I think it might have some problems, but that could be easily resolved just with a bit of a weight added on to the inside of this wagon. This wagon could be further improved by a little bit of weathering, I think. Just picking out some of the detail on the curtain side would really enhance it, and also the addition of some dirt and dust to the underframe would look really good as well, as would the roof as well if it was weathered down a little bit, because it's just a bit flat at the moment. So this wagon offers a lot of potential to the modeler. It's not an expensive thing to get. Well, certainly if you're in Spain it's not expensive. So if you see this wagon or other wagons from Electrotren, I would definitely check them out. They've got a lot of detail on offer, and if the price is right, I think this would be a great thing to add to your collection, both for model railways and even as a display wagon. You could really make this look really quite good. Let me know what you thought about my analysis of this wagon in the comments below. I'd really love to hear. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps this channel, and you could subscribe for more videos like this. And for now, I'll put this on the turntable so you can see all the way around this wagon. But that's it for